And we're back. Welcome to MultiPlay for another week. It is Doc here and Luke over there.
Howdy.
Welcome back. It has been a while since we recorded one, and now we're back with two in a row.
I know.
We've never done that before. Insane. We've got lots to go through tonight as well. We'll try not to make it as long as last time. Last time was like a 2-hour epic. So we'll do the condensed.
It would have been too long.
Yeah. It had been ages, hadn't it? And we caught up again on the weekend. So we've done our catch-up bit on the weekend because we went to a party together. And just like two dads, we left a lot earlier than we would have a couple of years ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I tell you what, the next day I was so seedy because I'm not piss fit anymore.
See, I was holding myself back, making sure that I knew the next day was going to be, because I think I got home and then 2 o'clock to like 3 o'clock was still like, I had to get the baby back down. I was like, I'm so glad I just took it easy.
Yeah. I woke up the next morning and I had a 3-year-old kicking me in the face, and I was just like,
that's a real good. That really helps the hangover.
Yeah. It doesn't do much for it all. First things first, tonight I've got a big announcement. We're doing a competition, which is exciting. If you head to DockyDarko.com, that's DockyDarko.com, not Donnie Darko. I just stole the name a bit.
Very different.
So what we've got to give away is, thanks to our friends at Ubisoft, we have a copy of Watch Dogs Legion, which is a fantastic open world game set in London and just so much fun. Have you played that?
No, have you?
Dude, yeah, it's so good. It's so good. And the music in it is insane. And it's got that real sort of London underground feel throughout the whole thing. The other one we've got to give away is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It's a double pack of Ubisoft open world titles. This one was, hands down, in my opinion, one of the greatest Assassin's Creed games I've ever played. And the funny thing is, it's so not Assassin's Creed in so many ways, but there's glimpses and hints of Assassin's Creed throughout it. I think it's so much fun, really good. So if you like Vikings and futuristic open world games, you can head to DockyDarko.com right now and enter to win that.
You're not mucking around the big games.
Oh, no, they're pretty good. Of course, they're celebrating the launch of the brand new Far Cry 6 that just came out, so which is a brilliant game. But
I was going to talk to you about it. Have you still been playing?
Yeah, I love it. It's so much fun. I really want someone else to get it so that I can play more of the hint. So I can play more of the co-op in it, because it's really great single player, but I think it's amazing as a co-op game, and there's particular missions that are built for co-op, so it's really...
That's the thing I love the most about 4 was playing the co-op stuff was unreal. Just you and a mate roaming around.
Oh, brilliant.
Just doing outposts, doing all that fun stuff.
Yeah,
like, you don't have to be doing the story.
And now there's like specific missions, like you can go see certain characters and get specific co-op missions, and they're really cool. Like you've got to go to the get to a point, collect a bomb that will explode if it overheats too much, and then get back to the car, and you've got to like stop and get it wet in the water and stuff to cool it down, and only walk in the shade. So you need your partner there to take out the people as you were back. Yeah.
So it's a escort mission. With your mate.
Yeah, but it's super hard on your own, so it's really good. It really good co-op. The acting in it is insane.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how's the story?
Yeah. Giancarlo Esposito is amazing as the antagonist in the game, so really worth it just for him. Of course, he's the guy from Breaking Bad and The Mandalorian. Of course, yeah, but he's just known for being a villain.
He is, isn't he? He's very typecast.
Yeah. He's even in the latest season of The Boys.
Is he?
Yeah.
I've only watched half that second season.
Have you? Right. So he comes into it as the head of the corporation that,
Once again, evil guy.
Evil guy, again. I've been playing a bit of that. I've been playing FIFA 22, which absolutely, I could have thrown it through the wall last night. For some reason, I was playing and it lost the connection because the connection on the Xbox Series X to your account is through your controller, and the controller lost the connection in FIFA only, which means it didn't save my game, and I just beat Liverpool 6-2. And I was like,
so your account is on the controller.
yeah, so your account is linked to your controller. So you can actually do, if you wanted, and I don't have mine set up like this because I always fear it, someone else ends up with it. You can actually link your controller so that if you sign in on that controller, it instantly signs you in as you.
Right.
So you can sign in multiple accounts on one Xbox.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Like, I get that because you could do that on the PS4 and go, I'm controller A, I'm controller B, and you could both be in your accounts and getting progress on your account. But it seems strange that because once you decouple there with the controller, you can still do it on the console and then just map it on the console to the controller, right?
Yeah. So what had happened is my FIFA had lost connection to the controller. Like I could move it and I could play the game and all that, but somehow my account had lost connection in there. So to get it back, I actually had to go and install the latest firmware pack again to the controller, which sort of reset it and then back. But by then, the game had I'd lost the save game.
It's the thing about these fancy new consoles, they've got firmware on controllers.
Yeah.
Unheard of.
The other things I'm playing, by the way, FIFA 22 is amazing. I don't know if you know.
One of those ones where, like, sport games, I don't play them.
Yeah, right.
But I always check them out every year or two just to see, because they've always got the best graphics. Like,
they do.
Every now and again you check it and you're like, oh, it can't get any more lifelike than FIFA 2014.
Yeah.
And then you look at it and it's like, oh, man, like they just...
Yeah. So
this
there's not
a couple of reviews of it, and it looks nice. But I don't think I've watched it in maybe a year or two, like a couple of years probably.
I think that's probably the best way to do it, because the jump from 21 to 22 isn't as big as, say, the 20 to 22.
The one thing I heard, which was they've done in this one, which just from the little bit I saw, is put what are the suits called with the balls on them, like mocap suits.
Yeah, mocap suits
on all the players, and not all of them obviously, but certain people they put mocap suits on and then got them to pull off the moves, and then that's why the moves look so fluid and
they
really
look real. And the other thing I really noticed in this version compared to last year as well is that the ball movement, like when you've got the ball, you look like an actual player has control of the ball, which means that it has this element that something could go wrong. It's bobbling around a bit. It's not... Whereas previously the ball's on a track and you pass and it goes exactly where you want it to go.
Right.
Now it's sort of, it could go a little bit in front or a little bit behind. It's not always perfect. And I think having it not perfect really adds to the realism of the game. Like it's... Like even the fact that, you take a shot on goal and the keeper has to tip it over the top. Whereas, previous editions of the game, they would have just caught it. They've got control of the ball. Like it's just, they look like they're going for it, but they catch it in the midair and
just implementing those better physics. And
it's just really good. And the inclusions in it too. So this year you can make your own team if you want, and then start from scratch, like as a brand new club. So say you want to make Luke United. And so
Team
that's
Doki
cool.
Darko.
Yeah, Team Doki Darko would be cool. But they've added some fun teams in as well, like Wrexham United, who's a lower league team. They're owned by Ryan Reynolds and the guy from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, that Rob McElhenney. And so those two guys own this low league football club.
That's a real club?
Real club.
Okay.
But it's like a low league club. And it generally would not have been in FIFA.
Right.
But it's in FIFA in other teams, like in rest of world. So you can actually play as that super low league club, which is just hilarious.
Have they put in Richmond United?
No, from Ted Lasso. I actually thought that the other night. I was like, it'd be so great to play as season 1 Richmond.
Yep.
Yeah, because you still want to have Roy Kent in your
You've got to
side.
have Roy Kent.
Yeah. I don't want him coaching from the sidelines. I want him coming on and swearing at everyone and headbutting and doing what he does.
He's everywhere.
It's so good. That's I'm halfway through season 2 of that and I just love it.
We just finished it. It's so good.
It just got super dark.
Yeah, it
Like
doesn't
super dark. Yeah.
it doesn't hold back. It gets quite it goes from the funny, light-hearted stuff.
Yeah.
To the
We
heavy
just
stuff.
watched the episode that everyone's complaining about, but I actually really enjoyed it. Which is
the Christmas one.
No, the other one, the one where he has the night on the town.
Oh yeah, that was a bit off.
Yeah, I
It was
liked
just
it. Though.
different.
It
was
just
good,
reminded
but it
me
was
of
just
a great British like nightclub movie.
yeah.
Like with Guy Ritchie or something like that.
The thing that it confused me was I kept expecting it to be revealed that it was a dream or something because there was some really surreal parts in that episode where I was like, okay, this is definitely a dream. You know, the repetition of certain things, and then in the strange nightclub, and there's kind of like the strange alleys, and I was expecting it to be like a dream or something, but
he did talk earlier about how he'd been on mushrooms for one game, remember? And I was like, oh, maybe he'd been on mushrooms again, but nah. It's just a weird but awesome episode. And
it's a great show.
Just one of the best. It actually just genuinely makes you feel so good afterwards. Like it's just a real feel good show.
It's just a nice show, yeah.
Other things I'm playing at the moment, Alan Wake Remastered.
Oh yeah. Okay. What's that like? I never played the originals.
Oh wow. So Alan Wake is easily my top 5.
Wow.
All time, fantastic. It's you're this novelist and like an author, and you go to this small town. It is just a Stephen King book. They all start like that. All these thrillers that you watch. The novelist comes home to a small town or goes to a small town, and then something happens, and the supernatural element in it, and then the fact that you use a torch in the game to fend back the evil, like that. Yeah. Oh man, the storyline of Alan Wake is one of the best I've ever seen in a game. It's so well written. It's episodic. It feels like you're watching. Like I'm surprised someone like Netflix or Amazon hasn't come along and just adapted it to a show, because it really lends itself to that. But apparently they're working. It's sort of hush hush. But there's been a few leaks here and there saying that they're working on Alan Wake 2.
Okay.
And it's the first time ever that Alan Wake has been available on PlayStation.
You're playing on PS5?
Yeah. So Alan Wake was an Xbox 360 exclusive. So so it's great.
So is it on Game Pass or anything, or not? It's only on PlayStation?
No, it's on Xbox. I don't know if it's in Game Pass though.
Okay.
It's something worth checking out, I think.
I think with that kind of thing where it's like it's a game that's very synonymous with Xbox, that they would put it on Game Pass or something. But
yeah, I think the other, like, they had the 360 version in there for a while, but definitely like
I've
it's
seen
leaps
it,
and
but I've
bounds
never
ahead.
picked it up.
And it's a remaster too, so it's not a remake. So it's got 4K graphics and it does look a hell of a lot better, but it's still the old gameplay and the old, like, everything's still there. So it's not
new textures and stuff.
Yeah. But they haven't messed with the game, and there's something to appreciate about that as well. The other one is the Crysis trilogy.
Oh yeah,
remastered.
Yeah,
which I was never a Crysis guy. Mainly because I never had a PC that could run it.
Yeah, I only played Crysis Run 1, and it was only just to try and get it running.
Yeah,
and that was years after it came out, even.
Yeah, Crysis 1 is basically just Predator, the game.
I don't even think I finished the game. I probably played a few missions of it, but it was just like, when you built a PC, it was like, can it run Crysis? All right, let's go.
And it looks beautiful. Like, it looks great.
Oh yeah, the suit was sick. The invisibility and all the all
that
different
stuff,
perks you could put on it.
But it's still Crysis. It's like, it's good, but it's.
But I heard that the new one is like, it's actually pretty hard to run again. Not hard to run. Obviously, our computers are a lot more powerful now, but it'll put your computer to the test, even the modern stuff now, with the new graphics and the new upgrades.
Yeah, well, I'm playing on the Xbox, so no hassles.
Oh, yeah.
But it's good. Yeah, like not.
Looks
I don't
rough.
think it's amazing, but it's. I think it's just because it's an old game. I get that. You know what I'm like with old games. Unless it's Alan Wake, I don't care.
Everyone else is like all about the nostalgia, and you're like, nah,
Yeah,
don't worry
nah.
about it.
It's old. It's a game. I've played it. I don't want to play something I've played. I want to move on. I want to play new stuff. Give me
Look,
Far Cry 6. Give me FIFA
normally,
22.
I completely agree with you. There is one exception, which I think was revealed last week. Well, haven't officially been revealed. GTA
Oh, the
three,
GTA.
three Vice City and San Andreas. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
the
play the
trilogy.
hell out of
Yeah.
those remasters for
Really?
sure. Oh,
You
Vice City's in my top five, man. Vice City
okay?
is
Yeah.
such a great game.
Now, Vice City was the one that had the best radio stations, wasn't it?
Oh, no, there's no competition.
Yeah.
It's like
It
those
was
radio
so
stations. I
good.
still listen to those. I have Spotify playlists of those radio stations still.
That's so good. Yeah,
Amazing.
I do appreciate that, but I won't play them. I'll let you do that.
It's just been so long since I've played them that, look, realistically, I probably won't play 3 and San Andreas, but I'll definitely play Vice City.
Look, even if
And
I don't think I'll even play 5 again.
yeah, look, I played 5 on PS3, and I was like, as soon as it comes out on PC, I'm going to go back and do it again. And I think I did an hour or two, and then I think I've got it. I don't think I've got it installed at the moment, actually. I think I uninstalled it, but a few of my mates are still jumping on doing the online stuff. And they
Yeah,
said that's
sure.
like
Yeah.
super fun. So I want to get on and do some of those heists and stuff that they introduced on there because that'll be fun. But
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever do the whole campaign again. No, but it was good. I had a lot of
GTA
fun.
Online just looks like Just Cause. Like it looks like it's just got stupid stuff happening everywhere, like Just Cause does.
Yeah, I think it was pretty. When I played it at the start, it was pretty lawless, and it was like you just jumped on and died, and there wasn't a lot to it. But now they've added so much stuff to that game.
Yeah.
Can you believe that game is 10 years old?
I know. I know. Way to make us feel
Unbelievable.
old, you bastards.
And they're like, releasing it on PS5.
Yeah.
That game will, like, our kids will still be playing that game, man.
Totally, yeah. Yeah. Hopefully they're playing 6 though, because that's well, actually I don't want my girls playing 6.
No.
Actually, that's one game I looked up
6.
today, and my 3-year-old got super excited to see that there is a Peppa Pig game coming to PlayStation
Ooh,
4.
okay.
And you have to build a character who will become Peppa's friend, and then complete missions with Peppa Pig. That sounds like lots of fun. I'm sure we'll get that and we'll play that.
GTA 5 has sold?
Hey?
Guess how many copies? Because it's the highest selling game of all time, I'm pretty sure, is GTA
Yeah.
5. I think maybe Minecraft might be in front, but I think it's GTA 5.
I don't know how many-
150 million copies.
That's insane.
That is so ridiculous.
And that's probably people buying it more than once as well.
For sure.
Yeah,
Like
'cause they're
I
buying
said,
it on-
I've got it on PS3 and I've got it on PC, and I'm sure people bought it on PS4 as well.
Yeah. And that's
So-
like and it's not like they put it out cheaper. When they put it out each time, they put it out at top dollar.
Yeah, they gave it away on Epic a while back.
Oh, that's right.
But apart from that, it's been, you might get it for $20, but still, it's crazy. That's huge money.
What are you playing at the moment?
So I haven't played much since we last spoke. I've been had a couple of games of Counter-Strike with a mate and got absolutely wrecked because we haven't played in forever. So that was always fun.
Yeah.
And then we're like, let's not do this to ourselves anymore. And then last game that I played was I had a quick dabble at that new Back for Blood.
Oh, right, of course.
So I shot
Which
you a
is-
message
now
about it
that's
to
for-
download it.
Yeah, which I did. I downloaded that last night. I just haven't.
So I checked and it's definitely cross-play. So
Cool. All right.
we can play Xbox, PS5, and PC.
Oh, you get all 3. That's great. Oh, it's so good they're doing that now.
Man, it's so good. It
Yeah.
just makes life so much easier.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
Don't
Doesn't
have
matter
to-
what system you're on. We're
Yeah.
all gamers. We just want
Let's
to
just
play.
play together.
Yeah.
So I made sure I
So,
left it
how
on.
much like Left 4 Dead is it?
Very like Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead, yeah.
Because it's the
So-
creators of Left 4 Dead who,
Turtle Rock, yeah. So
Yeah.
creators of the first Left 4 Dead. So
which
I
was
played a lot
easily
more
the
of-
best one.
Yeah, see, I played a lot more of 2.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
Yeah,
Nah.
but I love them both. But I definitely played a fair bit more of 2.
Yeah.
But it's crazy, man, because that game is still being supported as well. I think it's 1 or 2. I think 1 was there was a DLC that was released about 3 or 4 months back, and just done by some independent guys who went to Valve and said, "Hey, do you mind if we release some new DLC for it?" And they're like, "Yeah, man, no worries." So
good.
you know, for a game that's so old, it's definitely got a reputation and a strong fan base.
Yeah.
So I definitely wanted to check out the new one. And look, it's only been out a week or 2, but there's definitely some bugs there. But it's pretty solid. Like the shooting, all the gunplay feels awesome. Very like Left 4 Dead in that you're starting your safe room and then you move out and then play through your mission to get to another safe room.
Yeah.
I've only done an hour or so there's only 3 or 4 different missions that I've done. But
it even looks like the zombies are almost the same. Like they're the same character models. You've got the
very similar. Yeah, you kind of the one that pulls you, and you kind of boomer kind of one, and then the big tank that comes out that you just bullet sponge. So the only thing that I've found so far is that like it seems like the levels are a bit more, I guess, not dynamic, but like there's just more things to do. So there's more like, rather than just go and shoot, it's like, okay, stop and do this, and then puzzle, or not puzzle, but like interact with this, and then shoot this cannon and do this, and all these kind of like little mini games within the game that someone has to do in the team while others are taking on the zombies and stuff. So it mixes it up a bit.
Just making it that bit more complicated, whereas Left 4 Dead was get from A to B.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Bit more complicated, something to do other than shoot the zombies.
Yeah.
And it just mixes it up a little bit, and a few little side missions in there. Like you can, so it's all about these cards, right? So the thing that kind of really differentiates it from Left 4 Dead is that it's a collectible card game as well at the same time. So say, for example, do you ever play Hearthstone?
I saw it.
Or you played Magic, right?
I played Magic the Gathering, yeah.
Yeah, so there's essentially a Magic game within the game. And so when you go to your base, you're at like a fort where you have all tents where you can go and see different dudes and buy new weapons and kind of, kit out your character and that kind of stuff. And so one of the things that you can do is you can go and see this person that deals with these decks, these card decks. And so you set up yourself with a deck of, I think it's 25 or 30 cards. And so then as you play through the game, you activate certain cards. So you pick at the beginning what your cards are.
Yeah.
And then you have these buffs which buff you or buff your teammates in certain ways. So you want to try and get the best cards so that you can go for your certain build. And so your cards build your character, right? And so you can have, because there's only say 5 or 6 different characters. So with these cards, it's like an infinite amount of customizations to each class. So you can go, all right, I really want to spec out my melee, or I really want to spec out, my stamina, so I'm really quick and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
You can do all that kind of stuff and just customize it so that what your playstyle wants.
And does that last for just that round, or is that
for that round?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So until you get to the next safe house, but every safe house, when you get there, it tells you then what I forget what they call it, but there's essentially like a AI that's playing on the other side who gets cards as well. And so the bad guys get cards and you get cards. So you're trying to debuff their cards so they have, a card that makes all the zombies faster.
Yeah.
So you can get a card that, I don't know if you can get one that makes them slower. I've only got like half a deck of cards at the moment because you have to unlock them. But you can maybe get one that makes them slower or makes them easier to hit, or, that kind of thing. So you're trying to take their buffs and then debuff them with your cards, and then pump up yourself and give yourself extra abilities and that kind of stuff. And it's all about these cards. So it's a pretty cool way to do it. Something different.
Do you feel like it's got longevity, this game? Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. It's early days, but like I said, there was a few things where I had a couple of bits where it got a bit glitchy at some point. And it's not so much glitchy, it's probably the wrong term, but there's a lot going on
Yeah.
in some of these matches. And, you know, in Left 4 Dead, right, where sometimes all these things would come at you and then the lights would go off, and it obviously adds to the atmosphere and everything. But this, there can be so much going on the screen at one time, and then it's not quite exactly clear about who you're supposed to shoot and who you're not, right? And so I'm only playing on the lowest difficulty, which is good, I guess, for beginners, but it's not terribly hard. Like even some of the big kind of tough, the annoying thing is they're not called zombies. They're called what was it?
Man,
Dreaded or something?
Just call bloody zombies. Like,
yeah, anyway. So some of the big zombies, they're still not that hard to take down.
Yeah.
When there's so much going on at one time, and then your guys, the more you shoot zombies and stuff, you're covered in blood. So you and your teammates are all just like covered in head to toe in blood. So you look like a zombie. And so then the amount of times I've nearly shot, or actually shot my teammates on your next difficulty or the one up after, all those shots are lethal.
Oh.
So it's like, man, they need to make it clearer about like who is on your team and who's not, because
I suppose that adds to the realism of it, doesn't it? Like when you
for sure. But I guess
there's a lot more.
There's be a fine line between realism and kind of arcadey fun, right?
Mind you, I've played with guys over the years who'll just bloody mow us all down anyway, just for fun.
Exactly. But no, it is fun. It's I'm looking forward to it. I've only match made with just randos, so I'm looking forward to playing with some mates and doing it over chat, because no one I've been talking to yet has been on mic. It's got the whole thing from Apex and all the Battle Royale games now, how you can ping items, so you can, you know, something that I don't think that was in Left 4 Dead from memory.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So you could ping, hey, here's a gun over here that would suit your character, or some health here for you and that kind of stuff, or ping where you want everyone to go and attack.
That's good.
All that kind of stuff. But yeah, you can tell it's definitely well made. I think, look, it's hard to say with these multiplayer games whether it'll have legs, right? Because the next hot thing comes out and everyone switches over to the new thing. And
that's exactly right, yeah. The only real survivor has been sort of Fortnite, I guess.
Yeah.
The others, like Overwatch still gets played quite a bit, but...
Yeah, I think PUBG's still got a few people playing.
Esports ability. I don't know if Back 4 Blood's going to go esports, though.
No, it's definitely not that kind of game.
Yeah.
It's because it's not just PvP, right? It's that whole... I haven't tried. There is a PvP mode, but I haven't played it. But it's just the whole co-op, co-op shoot with your mates. That's the fun of it.
It is, and I think the fact that it's on Game Pass does it a lot of favors. Game Pass is like, and I know it's a streaming service and you pay for it, but it's like getting free games. Whenever a new game comes out and it's instantly available on that service, it's like, man, this is great.
Yeah, exactly right. Because that's a game that, people would have paid $80-90 for.
Yep.
Easily. And so for it to come out and just be day one included in Game Pass.
Dude, it's getting scary, the prices of games at the moment. When you look at, like, even buying digital.
New console ones.
Yeah, like $150 straight up. And you go, what? But then you're like
150. I thought it was 120.
Yeah, but then you look, but then you go, oh, hang on, I'll check JB Hi-Fi or somewhere like that, and they've got it for $79. And you
yeah. Oh, I find Amazon's the best, man. Amazon's like
it is,
wherever everyone else sits at, Amazon's $1 less.
yeah, it's good.
Get it to your door on the day that it comes out. It's pretty good.
Let's talk DC Fandome. Of course, happened, was it yesterday?
I think so.
Happened this week anyway. Very cool. Some very cool announcements. We saw more of some video games that are coming out, which are based on DC IP. The one that I'm probably most excited for is Gotham Knights.
Oh, okay. So you're more excited for that one?
Yeah, because it's Nightwing, man. Like it is... it's Nightwing, it's Red Hood, it's Batgirl. It's looking at it, it's unusual to see what setting it is because Batgirl is Batgirl, and yet,
so is it because I'm the opposite, right? I'm more interested in the Suicide Squad, Squad game by Rocksteady. So I know that is set. They've said after Arkham Knight. So Gotham Knights is made by Eidos Montreal, I think, who made Batman Origins.
Yeah.
So is that set in the same universe as
Well, they
Arkham
haven't
games
really
and
said.
Suicide
So
Squad, or
yeah, I assume it is, and it looks like it is. And the Alfred in the trailer looked very similar to the sorry, not the Alfred, the Commissioner Gordon in the
okay.
trailer looked very similar to the one from the Arkham games. So I assume it is, but in this game, Batman's apparently dead or gone missing, and you're fighting the Court of Owls. So it's the whole Court of Owls storyline from the comics.
As the Bat family instead of Batman.
Yeah, as the Bat family.
Cool.
So, which is going to be weird because in the comics it was very much a Batman until he went missing, of course, and the Court. Well, lots happened in the comics that can't happen in the game. It looks like Red Hood could be taking the role that Batman played in the comics, just from the look of the trailer.
See, I missed that trailer. I didn't watch the whole thing because it was like 4 hours long or something when I saw the stream, and I was like, no, I don't think I have time for that. But I'll have to go and watch that trailer then. I missed it.
Being oh man, I just can't wait to be able to play as Nightwing. It's going to be so good. I'm not overly sold on his costume in it though. So Suicide Squad is the one you're excited about?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think just I liked the movie after we spoke about, and Rocksteady. I think they just make freaking awesome games.
Yeah, it's going to be cool
It just
too.
has that humor to it. It seems really funny. It looks like they've kind of got the tone really right. I haven't seen any gameplay, but so I want to see what the gameplay is because it's a third-person shooter kind of thing, I guess. It's not like, the good thing about those Arkham games is that essentially it's like a third-person beat-em-up combo build kind of. It's all about just getting the combos, right? So I think that a third-person shooter is definitely, it's interesting. I think it'll be. I want to see how it's done.
Yeah,
because that was the best thing I think in those Batman Arkham games is just getting a flawless room where you just don't get hit and you're just in the combo mode,
bouncing and bouncing from one to the other, and you're doing fear takedowns and all that.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah,
all your gadgets plus with just those sick combos. It was mad fun.
I'm torn because I'm sick of storylines and games and comics and even in movies where Superman becomes the bad guy. It's like, stop doing it.
Yeah, you're the Team Big Blue.
Can't we just have a Superman game where you're Superman, you're the good guy, and you can go and be Superman?
Yeah, but it looks like Brainiac's in it, so that's sick. I love a good Brainiac.
Brainiac's awesome, so yeah, it should be good. There was another trailer which I don't know if you saw this one. It was for the Super Pets game.
No, I saw it on YouTube, but I didn't watch it. Is it good?
It looks terrible. It looks like Superman 64.
Superman 64.
Yeah, you are Crypto and you're flying through like Metropolis from the looks of it, but it's very blocky buildings and you've got things coming at you. You've got to shoot with a crosshair and it's, I don't know.
Super kids game.
It's a kids game. It just looks a bit rubbish.
Okay.
I don't think I'll be playing that one.
Skip the Super Pets.
I do think it looks like the same animation that's in the upcoming Super Pets TV show, which has got an all-star sort of voice cast.
Okay. So hang on. So who we got? So we got Crypto for Superman. Who's Batman? Is it Batmite?
Is it or a cat? I'm trying to think. Super Pets.
Who's Wonder Woman's pet?
Super Pets. It's only got Crypto in the trailer that I saw.
So it must be like Crypto is the only like well-known DC super pet.
Yeah, I mean, there was Batman's dog. It was called. Was it Domino or something?
Oh wow, you're right. That's that cast of the Super Pets movie.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves, John Krasinski, Kevin Hart, Jamila Jamil.
Yeah, because last time we were talking about how good the
Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, Dwayne the Rock Johnson as Crypto.
That's unreal. Diego Luna, Mark Maron. Man.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Which is funny that Mark Maron's in it because I've listened to his podcast before and he always just absolutely shits on anything superhero related. And then he popped up in the Joker movie and now he's doing Super Pets, but he is playing Lex Luthor. So,
yeah.
Yeah. It does look like it's Batman's dog, which is interesting. So that should be good. The show, not the game. The game looks terrible. Speaking of the trailers, how's the movie trailers? So just rattling them off the ones we got. We got the Flashpoint trailer.
That was not a trailer.
What was it?
That was man, I just had to laugh how this whole thing, they built it up. And this has not been going on a rant. I'm going to let you finish.
Yeah. No, you're right.
They built this whole thing up and were like, we're going to have trailers for this and Batman, Flashpoint, Black Adam. It's all going to be there. Come watch it.
Yeah.
Black Adam was like 10 seconds.
Yeah, but it was like 4 minutes of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson banging on about how great it is.
Yeah. And then The Flash was like, hey, we haven't got a trailer yet, but we've cobbled this together and we're going to show you the new suit. And I was like, man, like they showed
Michael Keaton. They showed from the back.
The back of his head. Man.
But it was the ears. It was Batman 89
Michael
ears.
Keaton.
What about Shazam 2? They showed some of that.
Did they? I didn't see that. Okay,
it was another featurette.
Man, these featurettes, come on.
Aquaman 2, they showed another featurette for that.
Exactly. This is what I mean. It's just freaking tease. It's all tease. It's not even tease for a
not coming out for ages. But we saw a proper trailer for the Batman.
Oh, dude, that was sick.
What a beautiful looking movie. Every shot of that trailer was just like cinematic masterpiece. The color, like the oranges and the explosion.
The fire and stuff. Yeah. No, it looks really good. Everything I've seen of that movie makes me want to see it more. And I keep forgetting that Penguin is Colin Farrell. And then you see him and you're like, that doesn't even register in your brain that it's Colin Farrell.
He looks so much like
an article or something, and I'll be like, holy crap, that's Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And he looks like the Penguin from the Arkham series. In fact, the whole thing feels very Arkham. I think I've said it. I don't know if I've said it on this podcast, but I know I've said it to you before when we've been caught having our massive chinwags at the pub. I have always felt that the best Batman movie still hadn't been made because the best Batman movie would be about Riddler, and it would be a Riddler that is more akin to Jigsaw from Saw than the Jim Carrey version that we saw, because that's what the Riddler is. And they sort of made the Riddler like that.
Well, he's been through all different kind of versions, right? But I think that version is the most compelling.
Yeah.
Because, you treat him like a serial killer and you get the whole, the police force are tracking down this serial killer.
Yeah.
Batman's the only one that can solve it because, like you say, he's like Jigsaw, leaving these clues and leaving these,
But he's putting people in deadly games and deadly riddles as opposed to,
it's one of those things, as soon as you hear it, you go, oh, that makes perfect sense.
And I think, one of the scariest things I ever heard was it was in one of the first Arkham games, and the Riddler in that tells one of those horrible dead baby jokes.
Right.
And it's like, whoa, what did he just say? Like, it really, it's a shocking moment. And he's saying it on this thing. And
as a riddle kind of thing.
Like, as a riddle. And then you're like, what did he just say? That's not what the Riddler does. The Riddler doesn't do that. He tells dumb riddles. But in this game, it's like one of those it's a horrible moment, a horrible thought. But it brought the Riddler into that moment of, oh, hang on, that's right. You're a bad guy.
Yeah, this isn't 60s Riddler.
Yeah, you're not meant to think nice and happy thoughts. You think horrible serial killer thoughts. So
yeah, it's like Zaz, man. When you see Zaz done really well.
Yeah.
And he's just covered in the
the
markings, and you realize that every one of those is a dead person.
Yeah. So good. So yeah.
The trailer is so solid. I'm sold on Pattinson as Batman.
As Batman, yes. As emo Bruce Wayne, I just don't know. He looks like he's Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah, I see that. I see
Yeah.
that. I think the problem is that shot with the the eyeshadow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he obviously has to wear that underneath the mask, so it's practical. But that shot makes him look so emo.
Yeah. Because he's pasty white and he's got, it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
but I like that they still are keeping their cards close to their chest about like Paul Dano as Riddler. We haven't seen a proper shot of him as Riddler except for that
Yeah.
one of him from behind with the coffee mug with the question mark on it.
We haven't even talked about Zoe Kravitz.
Oh, she looks great.
Amazing
Solid
as
Catwoman.
That is a perfect casting for Catwoman.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, and I would never have thought that
really
previously. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's a poor casting in that whole flick. And Matt Reeves is awesome, man.
Yeah.
He'll kill it.
He gets it. He gets Batman. He's like a fan of the source material. Like a lot of people like say that when they go and make those the hero movies and then they turn out rubbish, but this guy actually gets it. And best of all, he's a bit like Nolan in the fact that he gets cinema.
Yeah.
So what he's going to make is an actual proper film. And I think
it's shot really well. Like you said, the cinematography looks good. The question I have, right, is long term. So, because this originally was meant to be Batfleck as Batman, right?
Yeah.
And so, obviously, that all didn't happen. But now, do we get a Pattonverse of Batman movies, do you think? Or is this a one and done? Matt Reeves does his version of Batman and then lets it go? Or obviously it depends on what it does, how successful it is, right?
Yeah.
But would you like to see a 2 or 3 movie, Reeves
Well, I want to see the first one first, but
if you like
but
it.
ultimately, I want to see another trilogy, another Dark Knight trilogy, like we saw with Nolan, the way he did it, and then finished it off in his third one. I think that
but
works.
I think that the thing I was thinking when I was watching it, right, was I can't see this crossing over with the rest of the DCU.
No,
I think this is looks great for Batman and for Gotham, but I can't imagine them bringing in Supes or bringing in Green Lantern.
It was
or
the same with the
Flash or-
Nolan movies. Like if they'd brought Superman into then, it wouldn't make
Wouldn't have
sense
worked.
at all.
No.
And even when Snyder did Man of Steel, it was like that had tones that were from the Dark Knight series, but
Oh, absolutely.
those darker tones, but it still wouldn't have fit with that Nolan verse, which is why they brought in, like, they had to bring in Ben Affleck to play Batman because you needed a different Batman. You needed and he did it really well.
Yeah,
I think-
I liked him.
I mean, when you think about it, I heard someone say the other day that, they were going on the old tangent of, Marvel do it so much better than DC. They just do it so much better. They do it differently. Like, I think what they've done, they've made a lot of money. They've put out a lot of fantastic movies, and I love every single one of them. I think they're great. But at the end of the day, they're just different. And I think DC make great cinema, whereas Marvel are pumping out great popcorn flicks.
Oh, see, I disagree there.
Well, they're not putting out they're not putting out The Godfather, whereas the Dark Knight trilogy is the Godfathers of.
The Dark Knight trilogy is, the first 2 Dark Knights in the trilogy are, but
What's wrong with the third one?
look, The Dark Knight is probably the greatest superhero movie ever made, and probably ever will be. It's that good, right? That is such a strong movie that, I love the Marvel movies, that, and there's a few of them that I rank really highly, but I think that still top 1 or 2 has got to be Dark Knight. I think it's such a strong, not just superhero movie, but movie, like you say. It competes with that upper echelon of other movies where, I haven't seen Shang-Chi, but I've seen every other one, and every other Marvel movie you go, that was a great flick, but they're not, in that kind of echelon of of amazing movies. Apart from maybe, you know, Endgame is kind of in its own league, a league of its
It
own.
is, yeah, that's in its own league.
It brings, you know,
But they're all pretty formulaic. Like it's,
but regardless of if you're formulaic, right? Like the fact that to build up over 22 or 23 movies, whatever it was, I can't remember. I think it was 22, and then bring it all together in the final movie and have all these threads tie up nicely. Everything gets tied up in a nice bow, and you've led up to it for 10 years almost.
Oh, it was billions of dollars well earned.
But it was just so well executed.
Yeah.
Like, it's so easy to set all that up and shit the bed. And many franchises have done that before with a lot less movies.
Yeah.
Let alone more build up over a longer period of time.
Yeah.
And then to still land it and not just land it, you know.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No.
Knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
I think that is, you know, something that DC, as much as they've tried to do so many times, set up these kind of really extended universe and you know, make the characters cross over. I think it works in their animated movies, but they just can't get it in. And DC pretty much invented the multiverse.
Yeah.
So, you know, or they did, I'm pretty sure, like in comics. So the fact that they can't do it in their cinematic universe says something.
Well, there's a lot of talk around what the Flash movie is going to bring. Is that going to reset the multiverse? Is that going to... And I just don't know. I don't know that the average cinema-going public, the ones that are out there watching these superhero movies, because they're not making them just for us anymore. We're not making these movies just for the fans of the comics. Everyone who goes to the cinema now is looking for some form of superhero film. So I don't know that a full-on Flash multiverse reset is gonna make much sense for
it's hard because you're trying to skate that line between loyalty and pandering to everyone, right? You have to keep everyone on side. The thing I found with that trailer, and I might watch it again after we chat. But,
not a trailer, apparently.
Oh yeah, sorry, that glimpse. Crazy. It's the only thing that annoys me more is these trailers that we get now for trailers coming out.
Yeah, the teasers.
Oh man.
Here's a teaser, here's a teaser, here's a trailer, here's a trailer B.
In a week, you're going to get to watch a trailer. Oh man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that glimpse we saw, like obviously it's Flashpoint, but they're not calling it Flashpoint anymore, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
Obviously someone was like, ditch the Flashpoint name, just go the Flash. Okay, cool. One, I don't think he's a great Flash. Just me personally. A lot of people like him, but I don't think he's a great Flash.
I'm not even sold on him as an actor, to be honest.
Yeah.
Did you see him in The Stand?
No, I didn't watch The Stand.
Oh, man. He was the trash can man and just was not at all what I pictured.
So is the trash can man the main bad guy?
No, he's the crazy guy who rides the nuclear bomb, basically.
Right. Okay.
He's a bit odd. He's
not. What's the bad guy's name?
The Man in Black from.
Yeah, but what's his name in The Stand? He's called something different in The Stand. Right?
I've had a mental blank.
Yeah.
Always when we get on the podcast.
Always the way.
I want to say Walter. Randall Flagg.
Something? Randall Flagg. I was going to say Rick Flag, not Rick Flag.
Yeah, you're right. Rick Flag. I always think that too.
Yeah.
I should know. I've got the Dark Tower books all back there.
Yeah, nice. Mine are up there.
I love them. So good. But yeah, he was terrible in The Stand.
Okay.
The show, but yeah.
Yeah, look, I'm not sold on him as the Flash either, but I think that
he was better in the Snyder cut than he was in the.
Oh, definitely.
And even the black and white version of the Snyder. But that's a different story.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't know if I watch that one. But look, I hope Flashpoint's good. I like time travel, and Flash doing time travel is always fun.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of the stuff that we know of Flashpoint I don't think will be in this Flash movie.
Yeah.
You know, the whole war between Wonder Woman and Aquaman, you know, none of that's going to happen. But I was curious in that bit at the end. So obviously he goes back and he's meeting, or not goes back, but, you know, he's in an alternate universe where he runs into Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
The other Flashes there, that's like the Flash family, I'm assuming, right?
Well, one was him.
So one's him.
One was him with long hair. One was him with short hair, and one was a girl from the look of it.
Okay.
But I'm gathering it's the Flash family of sorts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I hope it's good.
Yeah.
I hope it's good.
They could bring in Wally West. Everyone would be happy. Have you watched Squid Game?
No, but just before we do, Black Adam, what did you think?
Look,
and don't call it a trailer, because that is
it's not a trailer.
The most untrailer thing I've ever seen.
It always worries me when the major star of the movie gets up and starts talking about something as a passion project, and I've been trying to make this for years and I'm so excited about it. It's like the equivalent of we had so much fun making this movie. When they say that, it's generally a crap movie. We had so much fun making this movie. Oh yeah, it was so much fun. It's going to be terrible to watch. But so I really enjoy the cast. I don't know how it's going to work when your villain is the lead.
But
yeah,
I think in the comics, at least recently, and look, traditionally for sure, Black Adam, pretty bad dude. But in the comics recently, I've noticed, so Bendis recently took over on Justice League, maybe 6 months ago or something.
Yeah, right.
And I've noticed a conscious effort in the last 6 months to goody up Black Adam.
Really?
So I'm guessing they're doing that for the movie. It's prep for the movie.
I hate that so much.
They do it all the time.
It's
you know,
just
remember they did it with Harley and made Harley like less crazy, really good. When
have you watched the animated series, Harley? By the way,
I've heard it's really good, but I haven't watched it.
It's amazing. Oh my god, and it's disgustingly rude and crude and brilliant. Everything you want.
But it's very adult.
Yeah, everything you want from a hub. Do not watch. Do not let kids watch it at all, please. But yeah, I'm not super excited for Black Adam.
Yeah, look, same thing. I want it to be good. I think that it's one of those things where it's like, you know, when everyone went and saw Guardians of the Galaxy, no one knew who Guardians of the Galaxy were, right? Yeah. The only people that knew Guardians of the Galaxy were nerds, real nerds, that had been reading Marvel space comics that no one else knew about.
I knew who they were.
Yeah, of course. Same, but most common everyday people that didn't read comics didn't know. And I think Black Adam is that for DC because he has no cachet with anyone that's like comic reader to be like, oh, hey, you're going to go see that Black Adam movie. It's not like saying you're going to go see that Superman or Batman movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you have to really market that movie well, and they're doing that by going, don't worry about Black Adam. This is a Dwayne Johnson movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, you're going to come see this because it's a rock movie.
Yeah. And we've done so many big action sequences and the biggest action sequence I've ever seen.
So, yeah, and Pierce Brosnan being like, yes, I was in 10 years of Bond movies. Yeah. And this is the biggest thing I've ever done.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, how much did they pay you to say that?
But look, that whole world of DC, and I'm talking Black Adam, Shazam, Dr. Fate, the whole mystical, but then, you know, kind of the wizard world is cool.
It is.
And it could be done really well. But do you then, because it seems like they have very different tones. And when I say they, I'm talking about Shazam and Black Adam, right? Because they go hand in hand. So you have a Shazam movie that I loved that first Shazam movie. Yep. I thought it was so much fun, but it seems very different now to this Black Adam tone, which used to be a lot darker and serious. So do you introduce Black Adam and then do you have him fight Shazam, or are they going to be not rivals in this like they normally are?
Black Adam and not fight.
Got to, right?
Yeah, and Yeah, and going on the current, you're right. Going on the current Shazam, he wouldn't stand a chance.
No,
No.
he's electrifying people to dust in
Yeah, like
in that trailer.
yeah, in the trailer. Yeah. Oh, look, we'll see when the
Once
actual
again,
trailer
it's
comes
good.
out.
We'll see.
I hope it. Like, I genuinely hope it's good. I really do. And especially, you're right. I'm really looking forward to seeing Doctor Fate on the screen, which is a really good quality Hawkman for another one.
Yeah, see,
One thing they haven't done well is
not really much apart from The Rock's Twitter, maybe, right?
Yeah.
And so I didn't even realize Hawkman was in it. And then I was like, okay,
yeah,
cool.
like, and it's odd that they make Hawkman's a big deal. Really, he's a member of the Justice League all the way
he's
through. Like,
definitely.
why haven't they done a Hawkman movie? Like,
yeah, because
his story is amazing. It's like it's a tale of lost love.
Yeah, it's convoluted, but
through the eons. Him and Hawkgirl searching for each other and dying and meeting up again in future lives.
Yeah, I think that I'm interested to see what they do with it. Hopefully, it's great. I'm going to temper my expectations, but because it could just be one of those ones where it's like meh.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's like we said before, right? And it's like Guardians, and everyone goes and sees it, and it's like everyone. The Rock gets people in the door because he's
the biggest movie star on the planet.
Yeah, man. I think I can't remember what they were calling him, but I read an article once, and it was like he's the guy that comes in
Fix
your franchise, and he fixes your franchise.
Look what he did with G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe, Fast and the Furious. As soon as your franchise starts to lull, you bring in him.
Yeah.
And you're sorted. So, and look, as much as he says, it's always a bit of a wank to say that it's a passion project and you've always wanted to play that role. I kind of love these stories where someone just on Twitter goes, hey, I think I'd be really good at this role, and just tweets DC or tweets whoever and goes, I think I'd be good at this.
Yeah.
And then the fans get behind it. It snowballs, and they actually play it.
It was interesting. I did an interview a little while ago with Boss Logic.
Oh, awesome.
The artist, right?
What a legend.
So, yeah. And he was saying that he was commissioned by The Rock to make that image of, and that's how it all started. So he made the image of Black Adam smashing Superman into the ground.
Yeah.
And that's the fight that Dwayne Johnson wants on screen. He wants the Black Adam versus Superman fight.
See, there you go. So you pay a dude to make a picture which gets you into a $1 billion franchise, which, if this does well, not that old Rock needs money, but if this does well, you're sorted, You do 3 movies of these where he's probably getting a way better deal than everyone except for Robert Downey Jr. got in the last a few Avengers movies.
Yeah.
So he'll be on absolute gravy train. You don't have to work again. He will, but you won't have to work again forever.
The funniest thing about that whole conversation now is, and we did touch on it before, but the highest paid actor in DC world is playing Black Adam.
Yeah.
Like, he's not playing Batman, and he's not playing Superman.
Yeah, which is crazy.
It's weird.
It's so weird.
All right, so moving on. We'll finish up soon. We've got Squid Game. You haven't seen it?
I haven't watched it. Yeah, I've got it on my list.
But it's become the most watched show on Netflix. Now, this is
Netflix original show.
Hey?
Netflix original. The most watched Netflix original.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
You sure?
Definitely. The most watched show on Netflix is The Office, and it will always be, I think.
Man.
Oh, I don't know. They just put Seinfeld on there, so maybe Seinfeld will take it out.
But anyway, it's beaten out Bridgerton and a stack of others, which are all massively seen. And it is fantastic. It is the Hunger Games meets Battle Royale meets Old Boy. There's so many great references throughout it. Apparently, the guy who came up with it is a massive PlayStation fan, which is why you see the characters with the circle, the square, and the triangle. And he said in an interview, why didn't you put the X on one of them? And he said, because the X is too common on all systems. and I only like PlayStation. But look, if I was to say a quick review of it, I would say it is fantastic up until the final episode, where it's kind of,
Really?
and there's elements in the final
Doesn't
episode which
know
are
the landing.
great, but there's a little twist that you just go, nah, unneeded,
Okay.
unnecessary. But it's really strong, really worth watching.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it. It was not on my radar at all, and then everyone was talking about, it's going to be the most watched Netflix original on Netflix, and a few friends were like, "Yeah, it's really good," and so now I'm like, okay, it was not on my radar at all, but I'll check it out.
And then apparently a lot of people are up in arms because Squid Game is getting all the publicity, but there's a better show, which is a Japanese show called Alice in Borderland, which is about a gamer who ends up in this like parallel universe of Tokyo.
Right.
And I'm only partway through the first episode of that one, but it seems pretty solid, so I'm gonna give that one a nudge too. But you've got some news on one of the shows we were talking about last week, which we were super excited for.
Yeah, that we were chatting about last week. So, why the Last Man that we were talking about, which is based on the Vertigo comics, unfortunately announced today that not getting renewed for season 2.
I'm Devo.
I know.
Like,
it sucks.
How
There's
can you
3
spend
episodes left, I think.
so long in development hell and then you finally get released and people just haven't? Do you think it's a case of there's just too much to watch, and so?
Oh, look, I think there's so much to watch at the moment.
Yeah.
That's definitely part of it. But I think that look, I don't know about here. So I think here it's on binge, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So in the
it's hard
States,
to watch.
well, in the States, it's on Hulu.
Yeah.
So
right.
I think that I don't know how many people have Hulu over there, but I know probably not a lot of people have binge over here.
Look, and it probably
Compared to
came
your
out.
Netflix and Prime and that kind of stuff.
And it probably came out super close to something like Squid Game, which is getting so much publicity and word of mouth, and people are all walking around talking about this Korean show that's doing so well.
Yeah. So I think the thing about that is, in my circle of friends anyway, everyone has a Netflix account. But as soon as you are like, oh, hey, did you watch this on Binge? Or did you watch this on Stan? Or did you watch this on
Apple TV?
Disney Plus to an extent? Yeah, Apple TV, definitely. Disney Plus, I think there's more people that have that now because it's the Disney brand is a behemoth. But I think, something like Netflix is easy to take off because if a word of mouth goes around and goes, hey, you should check out Squid Game, everyone's got it. They can just flick the thing on and watch Squid Game. Whereas if you go, hey, check out whY the Last Man, I haven't got binge. I'm not going to get binge to watch this one show.
I assume because it's on binge, it's also on Foxtel, but who has
Foxtel
anymore?
True.
But,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's
thanks to our sponsors of today's show, Foxtel.
Yeah, thank you, Rupert.
Ew.
So look, sad that I know a good show doesn't continue on when it has a lot of promise. But apparently, I followed the showrunner on Twitter, and she said that she's going to shop it around to other networks. So maybe good. Netflix or Amazon, they've got deep pockets. Maybe one of them will pick it up.
Amazon particularly, it just seemed to be one of those services that finds dying shows, and
they're the savior of shows. Yeah, for sure. And so I think because too, they're not worried about making giant amounts of money. So the thing about, something, and I don't know too much about the kind of business model around it, but something on Hulu probably has to hit pretty high numbers to make it worthwhile.
Yeah.
Right. To get your advertising and stuff and to make it worthwhile. Where Amazon can just go, yeah, cool, chuck it on. If it gets a few people to watch it, we'll be happy. It just is. To Amazon, all it's about is just keep people subscribed to Prime so they buy stuff on the store.
Exactly, yeah.
That's what it's all about. Yeah. And that's why they spent 400 million or 300 million or whatever it is on a Lord of the Rings show, which if it ever comes out is going to be the most expensive thing
a lot of that is
time.
Down to the owner, like that.
I think they paid 200 million for the rights.
Yeah, and it's all because he's a fan. Like they made the Picard show because he's a Star Trek fan. They brought The Expanse back because he's a fan of that show. So he went, oh, they can't cancel that. That's got 2 more
Yeah,
seasons or
okay.
whatever. So
All right, so we just got to send Jeff
Yeah.
the first season of Why the Last Man to get into.
that's why he took William Shatner up into space with him.
So, funny story. I watched a documentary on Amazon, and they were talking about how, trying to make Jeff Bezos one of the people, he's an everyman.
Yeah.
And so he still has jeff@amazon.com as his email.
Really?
Yeah. So he doesn't man it anymore because too many emails come through to it. So he has staff that monitor that email address, but he'll get an email sent there from an angry customer who got sent the wrong thing on Amazon. And so his staff or assistants or whatever that monitor that email address, they filter out all the junk, and then obviously he has kind of sub emails or something that kind of he actually has that he checks, right? And so they'll take certain ones and send them through sometimes because he wants to get those, he said, so that, he still knows what's going on with the business, right? At a kind of ground level. And so sometimes one of these emails, he'll shoot a email that, Phil from Cincinnati is sent in about his fridge getting delivered incorrectly. And he'll send it to the warehouse that kind of sent it out or whatever, or one of the kind of more senior managers that's well under him. Apparently all he does is just put a question mark. And when you get one of those emails on Amazon, it's like all hands on deck, nothing else is happening.
Yeah.
All I'm focusing on is I got to tell Jeff what's happening with this customer's order.
That's so funny. Classic.
Yeah. So yeah, but unfortunately, sad that Why Last Man's gone.
Yeah, well, I mean, I love the comics, and I was fond of the show, but
yeah, the show hasn't got me. Like, I'm only 5 in, and it's still not. Look, it's not a 10 out of 10 or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
But I'm getting hints of first season of Walking Dead where it's like I can see potential.
Yeah,
I can see it. That it could be something great.
Yeah.
So, and apparently the second half of the season is quite strong. So I'll definitely stick with it. To what you were saying before, but about Netflix, just quickly, I've just started rewatching. I don't know if I mentioned this last week. I don't think I did. I've just started rewatching Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, the animated.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Before the new live action starts in I think 2 weeks.
Is it only 2 weeks away?
Yeah, I think
Oh my
it's
God,
2 or
there's
3
so much
weeks.
coming in the next few weeks. We're gonna get that. We're gonna get start of December. We're getting The Witcher.
Oh, season 2. Yeah,
Season
cool.
2 of that. There was something coming in November, which was super exciting.
Few big movies too.
Few big movies. I watched. No, we got to finish because we promised this would be a short one.
This is the problem. We could just go for hours.
Yeah, I was going to say though, I watched Wonder Woman 1984 the other day.
Had you not seen it yet?
I hadn't seen it, and so I finally.
What did you think?
I hated it.
Okay, so
I
what did
loved
you think
every
of it?
moment that Gal Gadot was in, and the rest of it felt like Batman Returns. Right
Yeah.
down to the fact that Cheetah was basically just Edward Nigma.
Yeah, and he overacted as Max Lord
Oh,
too.
it was
quite.
That's not Max Lord. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He had the name, but none of the traits from the comics. It was. I don't know. I don't want to talk DC down because I'm such a fan of DC. But the fact that they got Wonder Woman so right and Wonder Woman 1984 so right. It was like they were trying to make the movie, rather than be set in 1984, they were trying to make a movie that was made in 1984.
Right, with all the tropes and
And it was just crap. Anyway, so
no, look, I
Yeah.
agree. It was definitely weaker than the first, but maybe I didn't dislike it as much as you, but it was it definitely wasn't as strong as the first, that's for sure.
the first one had so many great moments, and look, and if they were to say that there's a Wonder Woman 3 coming and Gal Gadot's going to do another one, I'd be like, yes, great, she's
Yeah,
fantastic.
well, I think they announced it at DC Fandome.
Great, all right, yeah. So there's
I
nothing
don't know
coming.
if James is coming back, but I'm assuming so.
Yeah, but she was great. Like she's fantastic as Wonder Woman, and the scenes in the Amazon, like on the island with the Amazons, is great. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was just Max Lord terrible, and I really like him.
Yeah, there was a few good scenes, but yeah, no, I agree.
Anyway, so before we finish up, just to mention again, of course, we're giving away these games. See, they're still wrapped in plastic. They're basically Twin Peaks.
So what have I got to do to win those?
Oh, she's dead, wrapped in plastic. You have to go to dokidarko.com and there's an entry form there that you can fill out. It'll sign you up to a newsletter if you want to be. But also you can share it with your friends on Facebook to get extra points and extra entries, or you can go read some articles and get extra entries that way as well. So it's a really cool
Sounds like a good deal.
competition to win these really awesome Ubisoft games, Watch Dogs Legions, and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Thanks so much, Luke. It's been great talking to you again.
Always good. Always good. I'll see you again soon.
We said we are going to keep it short, and we went just as long as last time.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, well, next one. We'll get under an hour one day.
Once we get going, you just can't shut us up. That's it for MultiPlay. Of course, subscribe and like us on Facebook and all that sort of stuff. Thank you very much. Bye.